started with one red spring on. So one red. Then you're going to bring your hands to the foot bar, walk up onto your machine, knees on the carriage. And then push your knees back so you're in that pretty supported, modified kind of plank position. So tuck your tailbone under, little squeeze in the glutes, and as you squeeze the glutes, you feel that lift in your belly. We're just going to start with a really gentle hinge, pressing away. Don't let those legs move. We're still on that diagonal. Drag your chest back in. So if this feels like a lot on your shoulders, add a yellow spring on. It's going to be a little bit more supportive. Hinging back. Nice. Resisting it in. Let's do two more. Pull back. So remember, you're on one red. Add that yellow if you need a little more support. And on that last one, bring it in back to your starting position. So we're still on that diagonal, still in your modified plank. Now we're just going to move the lower body. So on your exhale, it's just a little lift in the belly, a little tuck in the tailbone, pull the knees in. Upper body is active, but not moving. So it's just like we're connecting to the lower part of the abdominals. We're having that movement and stabilizing with the upper abdominals to keep us still. Little lift, little squeeze. You've got three more here. Hang with me. Shoulders drop down, ribs pull in. Just a little warm up here. On that last one, bring the knees in. Sit it back, hips to your heels. Drape your arms over the foot bar. Just take it into a little child's pose. Roll out through the wrists. And then slowly rise up. So we're going to take it into a kneeling position, sitting right back on your heels. If that doesn't feel good, you can always swing your legs around into a cross-legged seat. If you added your yellow spring, pull it off now. So we're all back to one red. Reach behind you. And let's start with our short loops. At any moment here, you can always switch to your long loops if you need a little less tension. But find your posture. Tuck your tailbone so that you're aiming it straight down to the mat. Pull the belly in. Flip your palms up. Little bend in the elbows here. We're going to exhale. Scoop the fingertips up to about eye level. Inhale. Pull your hands back down to your hips. Long loops. Beautiful option here. You should be feeling tension from the springs, but you should not be struggling with it. Feel that lift. Feel that pull in through the belly. And then drive your hands back down next to your hips. We're going for 4. Scoop it up. Reach. Beautiful. 3. 2 more. On that last one, we're going to hold. Hold it up. Drop your shoulders down. Tuck in through the ribs. Nice and stable through the core. Palms up. We're going to open the arms just a little bit wider than your foot bar. And on your exhale, I want you to squeeze your pinky fingers together. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. Long loops. Always available. Keep those palms up. If you feel like that chest is popping forward, shorten your range of motion. You do not have to go super far here to get the benefit of the work. Give me 2 more. Belly in, last one. And then slowly slide your hands back down toward your hips, and everybody is going to take it to those long loops. Remember, you can swing your legs around into a cross-legged seat at any time. With your long loops, I want you to find a goalpost position with your arms. So elbows in line with the shoulders, thumbs line up right with your ears. Once you're here, we're going to tip forward, so you've got a nice diagonal in the torso. Push those back ribs toward the back of the reformer. We're going to keep that back nice and long. Press through the fingertips. And then imagine you're grabbing some springs off the ceiling, pull them back down. Lengthen, press your biceps next to your ears. Feel those muscles right behind your armpits activate and engage. Pull back down. So we want to find that work on the eccentric. You want to pull down with intention. Feel that belly pulling in. Your job with the middle of the body is to stabilize the arms, but also stabilize the lower body. Even though you're sitting, we want to sit tall and strong, so strength through the low back. Last two. Find that press, lengthen, pull the shoulder away from the ears. Last one, press out and hold. Clasp your hands together, squeeze your biceps even closer to those ears. Drop the shoulders, tuck the ribs. This is one where those ribs want to pop out. Push the heels of your hands together. Aim the points of your elbows forward. Press away, push the knuckles forward. So all of those little hand positions and adjustments make a huge difference. Feeling that connection, pulling through the back of the arms. Awesome. Really targeted, really focused work today. You got 4. Find that strength. I know this is where the burnout sets in. So really work to stabilize through the core before the arms move. Last 2. Big exhales. Practice pulling that belly in every time you exhale. Last one. Press, reach through the knuckles. Bring it all the way down. Hang up those straps. And if you're not already there, we're going to swing the legs around and come into a cross-legged seat here. So sit up nice and tall, arms reach up. Then I want you to hinge at the hips, so back stays flat, belly stays in. We reach forward, and then just drape those hands on the foot bar. And if you want it, you can pull back a little bit and lift your chest, just a little bit of traction on those shoulders. Release if you lift it up, and roll yourself up to the top. Beautiful job. We're gonna swap out our springs. One blue goes on, and you're gonna take your red off. So one blue spring for everybody. Nice. So now we're gonna turn to face the side. I'm gonna turn to my right in that side facing position. Just gonna grab my long loop, clasping the hands around the long loop, and then straightening the arms. So I'm just gonna stand up for a second and show you what my arms look like. You guys are staying kneeling, but I want you to push those arms forward. So straight arms, no bend in the elbows. Your right leg is up against the blocks. I was just doing that to show you guys my arms. On your exhale, it's a twist and a squeeze with straight arms. Inhale back through center. So I want you to think about a line connecting your sternum to your thumbs. Thumbs stay in front of the chest the whole time. This becomes less about the arms and more about a squeeze in the left side obliques. Beautiful. No momentum and no movement in your hips. Your left elbow wants to bend real bad. Don't let it. Allow yourself to have that smaller range of motion. So good. Getting those arms out of the way first today. Sneaking a little bit of core working on you. Squeezing those biceps toward each other. Hang with me for 2 more. You want to feel the deepest squeeze here in your left obliques and your left triceps. Last one. Bring it back through center. Hang up your loop. Bring your knees up against your shoulder blocks. Little turn to the back of your reformer. Hands down onto your railings. We're going to walk it back to your white poles. Palms face in. Set your knees back underneath your hips. So you're in a tabletop. Your back is flat. It should skim right across that ceiling. Exhale. Tuck your elbows into your rib cage. Inhale. Extend the arms. So it's natural to want to sit back a little bit toward your heels. That's get your hips set over the knees. So it's okay if you're back a little bit, but I don't want you leaning into it. Work on lifting up. You gotta get real connected to those low ribs. Armpits hollow out. Triceps and lats getting a lot of work today. Slow pull. Find that strength from the middle. Find that strength in your breath. Next one, we're going to hold it at the top. Pull it up and hold. Pulse it back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a second. You can hold here and use those poles to help you stretch, or you can walk yourself down, take it into a child's pose. Wherever you're at with this one, just take a second. Excellent. So we're going to stay facing in this direction. We're going to come up to our higher kneeling position. We're going to reach down for your left strap. You're going to take that short loop of the left strap into your right hand. I'm going to walk back a little bit. It's going to give me a little bit more tension. You're going to extend your right arm forward. Palm is down, hips are square. On your exhale, we're going to bend the right elbow, pull it back so it's just in line with your shoulder. So you guys can see me. The way I want your arm moving is right in that same plane. Keep your thumbs out of your armpits. I know that sounds weird, but if you look down, you'll know what I'm talking about if your thumb is in your armpit. Pull back and extend, like you're punching that arm forward. Don't let that cross strap pull you. And lengthen. Like I said, getting that arm work out of the way. But don't forget about that center of your body. Every time you pull back, your belly pulls in, your ribs pull in. Palm faces down. You got 2 more. Squeeze through the glutes, lift through the kneecaps, activate through the quads. And on your last one, pull back and hold. Shoulders down and back, ribs in. Stabilize. Take that thumb away from your armpit. Keep it in line with your elbow. Drop the shoulder if you need to. Last 3, 2, 1. Relax. Hanging up that left strap. We're going to grab the right strap, bring the short loop into the left hand. Again, I like to scoot back away from the shoulder blocks. It's going to give me a little more tension without having to mess around with my springs. Palm down, shoulder down, keeping that armpit nice and hollow. Pull the belly in, little squeeze in the glutes. Exhale, pull your elbow back. Inhale, reach through the knuckles. So even though that strap wants to pull you across, the trajectory you're following is kind of in the line of that white railing, like you're skimming your thumb across that line. Our focus is the rear deltoid, the back of the shoulder, stabilizing through your core before every pull. Shoulder bugging you here, lower the level of your hand. But keep the wrist in line with the elbow. We're pulling for 4. Awesome job. Shoulders down and back. 3. So good. Slow pull. 2. Slow count sucks when you're tired. Last one. Hold. Shoulders down and back. Belly in. Lift the quads. Shoulders down. 3. Bring that hand out. Don't let it come in. 2. And 1. Relax it. You're going to keep that strap with you. We're just going to take that rotation on the other side. So left leg is up against your block. I'm going to recommend grabbing your long loop. Again, you want to clasp the hands in front of the chest, straighten out the arms. So remember, now we twist to the right. Little squeeze, and bring it back. Nice. Create that length, pushing your knuckles away from your chest, but maintaining that line. Everything connected in the middle. Push your right hip bone forward as you twist to the right, so we really activate that side waist. You're wringing that air out of your lungs. Stay nice and lifted. If that spring load feels too light, you grab your short strap, Long one's working just fine for me right now. Finish it up strong. We're going for 3 more right here. Pushing those hands together. Push through the heels of the hands to activate your triceps. Last 2. Last squeeze. Focus on that right side waist. And bring it all the way home. Hang up that strap. And we're going to change our springs just a teeny little bit. You're still on your blue spring, but what I want you to do is pick it up and hang it on the higher level of pegs there. So it's just a little heavier than a blue, if that's what you're going for. And then we're going to lay down on our side. I'm going to start on my right side. If you want to pull your shoulder blocks out, if they get in the way, you're welcome to. I'm not going to take mine out. I like to rest my head on the back block. But let's get ourselves all set up and we can talk through those options. So, laying down on your right side, you want to get your right hip all the way to the bottom back edge of your machine. So like I said, you're welcome to pull your shoulder block out. I'm a little shorter, so I like to rest the side of my head on that back block. Your goal here, wherever you're going, shoulder on top of shoulder, hip on top of hip. So we're in that sideline stretch. And then we're going to tuck the knees in so they're stacked on top of each other. You're going to grab the long loop that's closest to you and hang it over the arch of your left foot. So now, bottom knee is bent, hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, and you want that butt all the way down to the bottom edge. So if you need to make any adjustments, go ahead and do it, because that's what's going to give you space. If you find that you're in a curled up kind of fetal position, that's an indicator to move. All right, hips are stacked. We're extending that left leg out, hip in line with the ankle, in line with the knee. We're just going to start with a sweep to get ourselves connected. Inhale. Bring that foot forward just in line with your hip. And on your exhale, we're thinking low belly, right side obliques. Sweeping back, I want you to focus on the squeeze in your top butt cheek. Inhale forward. Exhale, press and squeeze. So right before we move, it's a little lift just below the belly button. It's a lift in that right side waist. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders, first things that are going to creep up on you. Beautiful. The more you can relax that upper body, the more we can stabilize the lower. You've got 2 more here. Belly in, squeeze it back. And on your last one, we're going to press it back and hold. Right here, point your toes, little tiny circles. So what I like to imagine on this one is my big toe is drawing a circle right around that corner of the foot bar. Nothing else is moving. We're stable through the middle, stable through the side. You're still circling. It's just almost like a pulse pace. 4, 3, 2, 1, switch directions. If you notice, my hips are not shifting forward and back. Stable through the low belly, through the pelvic floor. There goes that burn in the glute. Length through your neck. Constantly checking in with the rest of your body that's not moving. You got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull the knee in. We all feel alive. Great job. Relax the neck. Create that length. If you need to scoot your butt down, beautiful time to do it. And let's find a right angle bend in that top knee. Take a look at your strap. You want that strap tracking right through the center of your kneecap. Lift the belly, lift the right side waist, flex your foot, exhale, press straight back. So another really nice place to aim here is for that foot bar. When we press back, it's like we're kicking to put our foot flat on the foot bar, and on the way in, we're working through the front of the knee. You're pulling that strap forward. The strap is right in line with your kneecap. So the biggest thing you want to avoid here is that feeling of kicking your butt with your heel. Find that press, high loosing, pull back. Lifting through the belly, lifting through the side waist. As soon as that glute starts to burn, we start to get complacent and lose form in the rest of our body. So everything's strong to support that tiny little muscle that's burning out right there. Kick through the heel, drive, hang with me for 3. There it goes. You got 2. Lifting through the belly, lifting through the side waist. Last one, press it out. And now I want you to pull the knee back in. So your knee is bent, right angle bend here. Keep your hips stacked. We're gonna lift the whole leg up, lower it down. Lift and lower. Check in with your heel, it's right underneath. Your ankle is right underneath your knee. So don't kick your butt. This is where it gets ugly. You get strong through your core. Last 4. Yes. 3. 2. Great time for a slow count, I know. Last one. Bring it up, bring it down, and relax. We're not taking that strap off just yet. Nice. Last round here. We're going to bring our knees right on top of each other and our heels right on top of each other. We're going to connect those feet at the heels. Maybe lifting your heels up a little bit, but not letting those hips come out of our stack. Little clamshell to finish it off. We open the top knee, feeling that squeeze in the butt cheek, and then lower down just until there is about just a teeny bit of space between the knees. We're not trying to touch them. And close. As we get tired, it's real easy to try to rush through these, but we're working on my count right now. So we've got 5. Squeeze it closed. Keep those hips stacked. 4, 3, nice work. 2, squeeze those heels. Last one, bring it in. Bring that knee in nice and close. Hang up your strap. And just for a second, you can either pull your knee into your chest or grab your ankle and take it into that little quad stretch. Excellent job. So to transition here, we're going to lay down on our back. Springs are nice and light. Let your head relax. Take that little rock side to side. Give yourself an opportunity to reconnect in a different body position. So we're going to stay working with that right strap if you reach behind you. But now we're going to take the long loop and bring it over the right foot. So you've got the arch of your right foot in your long loop. Then you're going to pull your left knee up to tabletop. Springs are light here, so we're really focusing on stability. Hip bones even, belly in. And we're just going to start with a lower and lift of that right leg. So we're going to exhale, press down. Inhale, slowly pull up. I'm going to keep my hands on those hip bones the whole time just to make sure I'm not rocking around. And what we're really thinking about here is the low abdominals. With a light spring load on that foot, you've got to really work to connect to the middle, to connect to the belly. Press and back. We've got 4. 3. Beautiful. Last 2. Last 1. Press it down. And as you bring the leg up, you're going to press the left leg out to 45 degrees. We're going to continue to press the right leg, pull the left knee in. So we're creating some imbalance again. I want you to connect everything in the middle. Pull back. Excellent job. Everything stays stable. Just a little bit of movement. 4 more. Keeping that right leg going. 3. Beautiful job. Last 2. Right leg is strapped up, but that left one is the one that's burning. Last bring both knees into tabletop. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock it out side to side. All right, fun little transition here. We're going to take that loop off of the foot and bring the short loop into the right hand. Final movement, a little bit of work on that left side and the lower body. So now both knees are going to come to tabletop. Your strap is just in the right hand. And now as you press the right arm down, we're going to extend the left leg. So even more of a reason to connect to the middle of the body. Arm and leg are moving together. So we press, press. This just turned into abdominal work. We pull and pull. You can do this without that strap in your hand, just working with our movement. Press, pull. You got 4 more. Pull in through the low belly if you're starting to feel this in the low back. Aim that left leg a little bit higher. 3. So good. 2. Training those 2 sides of the body to work from the middle. Last one. Bring it in. Both feet onto the foot bar. Hang up that strap. One more time, little rock side to side. Good, and then we'll sit it up and just lay down on our left side. So we're gonna do everything on the other side now. So we're gonna lay on our left side, popping that shoulder block out if you need to. And then I want you to get your butt all the way to the bottom edge. Stack your hips and shoulders. So I like to rest my head on that back block. If that doesn't work for you, and if you're taller, it really might not work very well. So you do what works best. We're gonna take that strap that's in front of you now and hang it on your top foot. So right over the arch. And then once your strap is on, readjust your body. So again, stacking your hip on top of hip, shoulder on top of shoulder, length in the neck, reaching from the tailbone through the crown of the head, reaching your heel toward the foot bar. We start with that sweep forward. Hips stay even, low belly stays in. We lift the left sideways, bring it forward, press it back. Excellent, so no wobbling in the hips. This is a great moment to decide if you need to adjust your body on that carriage. Focusing on squeezing that top butt cheek and stabilizing the rest of your body. Also not letting the rope pull you forward. If it lets you pull forward, you start to drop the leg, you start to take the hip out of alignment. So it's just like there's a perfectly placed surface right in front of you that you're just sliding that left foot across. Hip, knee, ankle working in the same plane. Relaxing the neck, relaxing the shoulders. It's a reminder that we can't hear enough in this series. Last 2. Focus on that lift in the belly, that lift in the right inner thigh, squeeze. Last one, we're gonna hold it back, going back to those tiny, quick-paced circles. Extend the leg, point the toes, aim your big toes to the corner of the foot bar. Let's circle it up. Reaching long, so remember, if you're getting feedback from the rest of your body, if your shoulders are moving around, if your ribs are popping forward, that's your sign to pull in through the center to engage that core. 4, 3, point those toes, lift the quad, 2, and 1, switch directions. Find that strength here. It's that little burn that wants to take over the rest of your body and tell you that you're done. You're not. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Remember, the good news is we take little breaks in between each set here. Stack your hips, belly in. Then we're going to pull that knee right in front of the hip. So remember, rope is tracking right through your kneecap like it could slice it in half. Flex your foot, push that foot right out to the foot bar. And don't forget that pull home. You're working in both directions. The rope is not in charge. You are. Bend the knee. drive through the heel. Constantly checking in on that form, checking in on those little adjustments. Drive, use your exhale, lift the belly. Lift that left side waist. Even if it doesn't come off the mat, you want that feeling of the waistband of your pants coming just slightly up so that you feel your side waist pulling toward your belly button. This is where it gets a little fun. Bring it in. Last two. Awesome, lift the belly. Last one, we press. We pull the knee back in so your knee is right in line with your hip. Ankle right in line with that knee. We lift. We lower. Keep those hips stacked. Lift. Press down like there's something heavy underneath your inner thigh. Second side, it is inevitable that your left shoulder wants to curl underneath your body. Restack it like you're pressing your back up against a brick wall. And down, strong exhales. You can do this. One more set in front of you. 2 more reps in front of you. Last one. Bring it down. Relax. All right, we finish on this sideline work with our clamshell. So knee on top of knee, ankle on top of ankle, heel on top of heel. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. I want you to keep the heels connected and create a little bit of space in between your knees. With that bend in the knees, we open the top leg and close. So I like to bring my hand right behind my hip here, maybe readjusting so that I'm nice and stacked, but making sure that I'm not leaning back into this one. It's a squeeze. Push your heels together. Holding a piece of paper, you don't want to drop it. 2 more. Last one. Bring it in. Slide that strap off. And you can pull your knee into your chest, or I always like to take that little quad stretch on this one, just a little opener. And then very beautifully and gracefully, make your way to your back. Awesome. Long loop is going over the arch of your left foot. And then once you're there, right knee is going to pull into tabletop. So pausing for a moment, anchor down through the back of your shoulders, little tuck in your chin, pull the ribs in, belly in. We're going to start with a press on that left leg. Exhale, press down. Inhale, lift the belly, pull the knee right back in line with the right knee. So for the first set, the right leg stays stable. Your knee stays in line with the heel, knee stays in line with the hip, holding that right ankle bend. So now we're tired. You're going to really feel that little bit of imbalance. Where do we connect it? In the middle. Feel that lift below the belly button, soften through the front of the rib cage. Bracing through that torso to keep the upper and lower body connected, to keep those limbs connected even though we're trying to shrink the body with this single arm and single leg work. Last one, bring it up and extend the right leg out. So you start in that wide scissor position, and then as you press the left leg down, we pull the right knee in. It's almost like those knees pass each other in that 45-degree or 90-degree spot. What you're looking for is just an even exchange. You want to feel that low belly helping you pull the knees in. I keep trying to bend my right leg with my left leg right now. So good. Your body has its own plan. We're trying to redirect it with the brain. Last two. And lengthen. So good. Last one. up. Find your table. It's going to be hard to hold that tabletop because your legs are tired. And then we're going to press through the left arm and the right leg. So as we press the left arm down, we extend the right leg. And then we control that pull in. So you've got to slow down the leg to match its pace with the arm. Now remember, just like on the other side, you've got that option to drop your strap completely and just focus on that unilateral work, on weight in, lengthen, pull back. Dig deeper. You're finding your strength from the middle. It's not going to come from the arm or the legs. They're both tired. Connect them. Belly in. Last two. Nice and strong here. I know my leg wants to go super fast right now, but I'm finding those connections. Last one. Bring it in and hit it out. Awesome work here. Let's scoot forward a little bit, just so that you clear some space between your shoulders and the tops of the blocks. And let's walk our feet nice and wide on that foot bar. Carriage is going to feel a little floaty, but I want you to try to keep it in. Just pulling the heels toward the glutes. Thumbs connect right over your chest, shoulders drop down. We're going to take it into a little crunch here. So just a little bit of spinal flexion, a little squeeze through the belly to round out this whole series in the middle. Big inhale, exhale. I want you to peel up through the head, neck, and shoulders and reach your fingertips forward like you're going to tap that foot bar and then roll it down. So you'll notice if you're pulling into your hip flexors, if that carriage starts to move. I want you to think about just keeping that lower body anchored, sliding your bottom ribs toward your hips and pushing forward. So rather than a hard crunch with momentum, it's just a little squeeze in the middle of your body. And down. Use your exhale here. Think about forcing that air out. Eyes on your hands, lengthen your neck. Maybe we try to peel up a little bit higher. If you don't have a lot of space to move, you're always welcome to float those feet off the foot bar. I'm using your feet on the foot bar as just a little gauge, a little indicator to know if you're really pushing through the feet or using those hip flexors. You got two more. Last one, let's peel it up and hold shoulders down if they started to come up, little pulses. So we were first reaching toward that foot bar. Now think about tapping the foot bar with your fingertips. Reach and reach. Tap, tap. You got 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way up, roll it down, let your arms hang out to the sides. Let your legs just hang out over that foot bar. Just breathe for a second. Roll the shoulders down. Maybe take a little look over to the right, over to the left. And then let's slowly roll it up. Awesome. So let's take our springs to a red and a yellow. So blue comes all the way off, one red, one yellow. Then we're going to have a seat facing toward the back of the machine. So this time, if you want it, it's a good time for everyone to pop those shoulder blocks out, if you have that option. Then you're going to scoot your butt all the way to the back edge. We're going to reach forward and grab our straps. And then walk your hands right up to the knots on the ropes. Legs are long and extended. Feel that little pull from the straps as you roll your shoulders down and back. So find that stack. Shoulders over ribs, over hips. You want to feel a little tiny tuck through the ribs and a little tiny tuck in the tailbone just to keep your back flat. Now feel the shoulder blades plug in just a bit. Arms are going to stay long the whole time here. So we're not pulling with the arms. They're just a point of leverage. We're practicing that little C curve in the low back. So collarbones stay open, peeling apart, big inhale. Exhale, I want you to tuck your tailbone, scoop the belly as we roll down. You're going down about 3/4 of the way, wherever you feel comfortable. Comfortable is a relative word. Inhale at the bottom, and then on your exhale, again, keep the shoulders open. Squeeze the belly. Rise up. We're just coming up to that tall seated position. So after doing one, it might be an indicator that you need to walk forward a little bit, or maybe walk back. So we just move everything from that lower part of our spine, that lower part of our abdominals. When we're C-curving, the shoulders really want to kind of round up with us. I want you to keep them out of it. Chest is proud, shoulders are down, tail tucks, we roll. So you're focusing on the crunch of this, that squeeze in the belly, that length in the upper body. Good. 2 more. Feel this nice stretch through the upper body, through the back. Last one, I want you to hold. So tuck the tailbone, roll it down, holding. If you need to come up a little bit, halfway is just as good as 3/4. I want you to flip your palms so the palms face down. We're going to bend the elbows, we're going to row. Focus on that scoop in the belly, open up your chest. Try to keep your gaze right on your big toes. Awesome. If it's heavy, slide your hands a little bit closer to those straps. Squeeze the back, squeeze the belly, take the tension out of the shoulders. 4. So good. 3. Awesome. 2. Last one. Extend the arms, scoop the belly, rise up. And then we're going to take that big fold over the legs. Choking back up on the ropes if you brought your hands to the straps so that you can use a little bit of leverage. Pushing your hands forward as you scoop the belly. Let your tailbone float back. Just allow yourself to let go here a little bit. Nice. Roll it up. Roll down through the shoulders. And slide those long loops back on to their little pegs. So I'm going to scoot back a little bit. If you find you need a little bit more tension in this one, you're welcome to reach back at any time and add an extra rep. But we're going to start with both hands on the foot bar behind you. So I want you to think about that feeling we just sort of explored, peeling the collarbones open, lengthening through the legs, and just sitting up nice and tall. So same movement with the lower body, but we're allowing this to open up the shoulders, treating it more like a stretch. So inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, scoop the belly, push the carriage forward. Inhale, rise up. So you're feeling this as a gentle stretch in the shoulders, trying to avoid that feeling of collapsing forward. So you want to think about dropping the shoulders down. You can always walk your hands down the foot bar a little bit if you need a little bit more room. So initiating everything with that little tuck in the belly. Keeping the chest open. Let's go for 4 more here. Connecting to that little scoop. 3. 2. Peel those collarbones apart. I just caught myself. The last one. Hold it for 3. Reach long through the arms. Open the chest, belly in. 2. And 1. Rise up. Release those arms. Roll down and back. So now we're all going to reach back and add that extra red spring. So you've got 2 reds and a yellow if you're keeping track. And then I want you to just allow your back to rest on that foot bar. So carriage might move a little bit. Bringing your hands behind your head, bringing your elbows wide. And I want you to find that spot where you can just hang. Turn your toes out. It might be a little scoop back for you. It might be a scoop forward. Finding that spot right through the back of the rib cage. Ladies, using that bra strap is a good indicator of about where to go. And then I want you to tuck your chin just a little bit. So coming out of that full hang, pulling the belly in, keeping your toes turned out to the side, keeping that carriage stable, even if it pressed out a little bit. Now we're going to rotate to the ring. So you're going to feel a nice big massage on your lats. If you're as tight as I am, it should feel pretty good. And just roll around there for a second. Keeping your chin tucked, maybe aiming your chin toward that right armpit for the moment. Releasing any tension. Inhale as we roll back through center. Exhale as we roll to the left. And you're finding your spot here. Kind of like a place where if you were on a foam roller or something like that, you should be able to notice that little tight spot to roll through now. Tuck your chin toward that left armpit so we're not causing or creating any tension.